Alright, y'all. Alright. Y'all know what it is. Let's get it popping. It's Folktales for grown folks. Let's get to our track for the night. And the track for the night is... oh my God, here we go.
Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenamejourney.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He sitteth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and the needy, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, you are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth. Thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
This is Kabbalah Folks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Adam Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
What's up, family? Shout out to S. Freedom Johnson. Shout out to Levita Nelson.
Ace, live from
Come on
Shisha
up.
Lounge,
Come on in,
and you are now
family.
listening to
Door is
Gye-Nyame
open.
Journey Radio.
Wipe your feet at the door. We're about to kick it tonight.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy. This is Marina with the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Silver Kevin. All my Silver Nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I give a shout out to my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
This is Cleveland, and you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Peace, Hotel. It's Manslayer Hotel, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity doesn't sound good. I think it sounds great. Right now, you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. If you're not adding anything
To the culture that you claim, you don't deserve it. Carry his name. What do you add to the culture?
Live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to the Gye-Nyame tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up, please.
Oh, it's about to go down tonight, fam. We got a nice short one, but it's gonna bring up some shit.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve it.
Like and share, family.
This is Brother Hot Tub
I think
coming at
tonight-
you live, and you are now
Tonight might be the night.
the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to Gye-Nyame Tasha. Gye-Nyame family. Stand up. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Peace. This is Gina, and you are now on Gye-Nyame Radio. Peace.
I have had enough. I've had enough. Man, oh man, family. I want to welcome everybody into the house. Some of y'all I can see, some of y'all I can't see. But yo, family, it is the night for folk tales for grown folks. And of course, you have now joined the congregation of the mighty. And this is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Get the app. I'm still working on the iOS. I got to get that money together. And, of course, you know, this is a Heart of a Simple production, and you are now listening to Folk Tales for Grown Folks. Send the kids to bed. But we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Damn, I want to welcome y'all here on this hot July day. It was a hot, smoking July day. It was so damn hot that my shadow jumped up into my arms and I had to carry him across the parking lot because he was burning his feet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like it was just hot. Just for you, I thought I was in. Is somebody on the line?
Then it's me.
Oh, okay. It's my co-host, Lady J. Damn, girl, you done got a technique of getting on the line, and I don't even know she on the damn line. But hey, family, it's a beautiful day. I want to thank Lady J for calling in. Sister Jill, I see you. Brother Kwame, I see you. Sister Navita, I see you. And Sister S. Freedom Johnson, I see you. Welcome as we get ready to jump into this discussion about folk tales for grown folks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break away from what I usually do and start making this a regular part where I going to jump right into what we supposed to talk about, because you know once me and Lady J get started, we might have another day where we don't cover nothing. So I want us to just focus on the folktale, and then from the folktale, it's going to take us straight into what we need to talk about. I guarantee it. So once again, Lady J, you want to tell the people hi?
Greetings, everyone.
All right. So anybody that want to call in, the number is 614-556-4535. For those of you that still got them old ass phones that you got to push the numbers real hard, 614-556-4535. You can call in and you could join us, okay? So now, the name of the folktale today that's going to start off the conversation, jump off the conversation, get the wheels turning, that we're going to do some wisdom mining. What is wisdom mining? Wisdom mining is where we get dirty and get down deep into these folktales and into these proverbs that we be kicking on this show so that we can start unearthing some of the wisdom of our ancestors that can help us in our present day situations, in our present day lives, that can help us raise our children better and help us become healthier and wiser through other people's experiences and mistakes rather than making the same damn mistakes ourselves. All right, so here we go. This one is called The Manslayer. A man committed a murder. Hold on. My brother Kwame is speaking Spanish. He just showing off for no reason at all. He say, "Que pasa, hombre? Hace mucho calor, caliento. So that got something to be with it. Much hot. Hace calor. Caliente, mierde, hace calor. Show off. Man, just stick to the math, man. God. Always trying to show off, man. Man, so what you can speak Spanish? I can speak Ebonics. Yo, what up? Hotter than a motherfucker out there. How about that? Can you do that? All right, here we go. A man committed a murder and was pursued by the relations of the man whom he murdered. On his reaching the river now, he saw a lion on the bank, and being fearfully afraid, climbed up a tree. He found a serpent in the upper branches of the tree, and again, being greatly alarmed, he threw himself into the river, where a crocodile caught him and ate him. Thus the earth, the air, and the water alike refused shelter to a murderer. I see you, Miss Jackson. How you doing tonight? Let's do it again. I'm going to read it one more time, and then we're going to start the conversation. Y'all can start typing in your comments, start typing in your questions. If you want to call in, don't be scared. Share your wisdom. 614-556-4535. A man committed a murder and was pursued by the relations of the man whom he murdered. On his reaching the river now, he saw a lion on his bank, and being fearfully afraid, climbed up a tree. He found a serpent in the upper branches of the tree, and again, being greatly alarmed, he threw himself into the river, where a crocodile caught him and ate him. Thus the earth, the air, and the water alike refused shelter to a murderer. Lady J, you want to start us off on that? Because I
No. Can you tell me the name of it again one more time, sir?
It's called The Manslayer. Shouts out to Miss Cynthia Johnson.
The man what?
The Manslayer. It's all one word. The and then Manslayer. Manslayer. Now this is about a man who in the village or wherever he was, he murdered somebody. And the family seeking justice was in pursuit of him. Because you know what they was going to do to him. To get away from them, he ran towards the river Nile. When he came to the river Nile, there was a lion there. And fearing for his life, he climbed up a tree. And climbing up a tree, he found a serpent. And being scared of the serpent, he jumped into the river Nile. And in the river Nile, awaiting him was a crocodile that ate him up. Thus, they say, the earth, the air, and the water alike refuse to shelter a murderer.
My take is just very basic. Has everything to do with the universe and karma.
That's where I was going. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Take it.
Run it. And it's just the law of the universe. I believe that it's just the law of the universe. And so, to these things that you put, that energy that you put out, it has to come back to you. And some people think that, you know, when people do things to them or if someone does something to you, like, you know, they'll waste their breath, like, wishing bad on that person, or they'll seek revenge. But you don't have to do that because the universe automatically gives you what you put in.
I'm going to challenge you on that.
Go ahead.
All right, and it's not the River Nile, Kwame. It's the River Nile, Nile. So this is right up in our area, right? Someone that's part of the Gye-Nyame journey is saying he couldn't escape his punishment for his wrongdoing. Now, I have a question. This is the question. What started all these events? The man murdered, and then he had to run. Why did he have to run? If we read this,
out of fear.
No, well, out of fear of what?
Them retaliating against him.
Right. So it wasn't necessarily just because one of the things that I'm challenging with this one is that reciprocity just didn't happen. Something had to happen. The man's family had to come up in arms and pursue him. Now, because they pursued him in his run, then the other aspects of reciprocity took place. He murdered, and then the family didn't just say, hey, well, we're going to hope and wish for him, because you did mention that. Rather than hope and wish, they took action. And in taking action, the rest of the universe came in. I honestly think that some of the stuff that we allow and depend on reciprocity to bring to us, I think we kind of rob ourselves of reciprocity. Because it's like, okay, it's okay. We're waiting for something. I know reciprocity happens. It's saying he couldn't escape his punishment for his wrongdoing. Tried to escape the blood vengeance. And that's a real thing. Fear of facing his judgment. But the whole piece was air, water, and earth did not take action until that family took action.
But that's the inevitable.
Nowadays.
No, I disagree with that.
That it's the inevitable?
Yeah, because I think that people do get away with shit. So I don't think that. I think that for me, because I don't do the whole. Well, the modern day meaning of karma, I don't do, which is for every action there is, like if you have an equal reaction, which is not necessarily true, because you can get an unequal reaction, because good things happen to bad people, bad things happen to good people, and some people do some shit that's just unacceptable, and you know what? It may never come back on them.
How do we know if it comes back on them, though? How do we know if it comes back on them?
I mean, if you...
How we know it don't?
Look at life. Look at life. Life is a cycle. And if you live long enough... Okay, for example, if a child is born at 3 years old and he is molested by a child, what did that child do to cause that karma on itself?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that that the child did anything, but I do believe that. What do they say? Like we go through our trials and tribulations in order to make us who we are. So
see, that's
I can agree that we go through things that we should not, but then out of going through those things, it gives us a testimony, it gives us a message, it gives us an insight that other people may not have. I'm thinking about our people their transgressions or their trials and their tribulations. Some people may come to some of the things that we face, and it will break them. But those things kind of make us stronger. So, yeah.
And they do make you stronger, but I don't think it necessarily is part of a thing that we have to necessarily go through to help somebody else go through it. If there's some type of force that's controlling what we go through, then I would really hope that would, don't give me that option or don't give me that plan, so to speak, because I'm going to have a problem with you if you're able to control that and you do that to me just so merely we can all understand each other who have been violated like that. To me, that's kind of sadistic, in my opinion. It's a sadistic way of thinking that I have to be molested so I can help somebody else who has been molested. To me, that's a little sadistic thinking. I think it's rooted in the whole God concept and justifying things that people are just sometimes are out of our hands. I don't think people want to admit some things are just out of our hands.
Nah, but also there are some things that are in our hands. Because his family could have did like a lot of us and been like, we're going to wait for judgment. But they took it upon themselves to take action. And I think a lot of times when you take action, that causes the process of reciprocity to take place. Because the point that I'm trying to make is the story basically states that this man was running from a family of somebody that he offended. He didn't just offend the person he murdered, he offended that bloodline. And that bloodline rose up to take vengeance upon him. Now, when they was trying to get him in his trying to hide, he found that there was nowhere to hide. Why? Because in a sense, nature rose up against him as well. But I'm thinking for me, it's almost saying that if we don't take action for the wrongs that are done to us, if we don't take action as a group or as individuals, if we don't let the universe know how we feel and bring it out to the open, then of course somebody's going to be able to get away with it because in a sense we allowed the reciprocity to go rather than sitting around waiting for some mysterious wheel to turn. And wait, hold on.
The action. I got you. The action is what caused him, because they were chasing him, that caused him to run into what he ran into. Otherwise, if they didn't do anything, he would have just went about his way.
It's a good possibility they could have, because it would be a different story. But Sister Cynthia say, I struggle with waiting on the universe to handle things for me. Sometimes you must take actions, though, and be a catalyst. And I think really, the message for us is, are we being the catalyst in our own lives? Are we being, you know what I'm saying? Because even when we get to Brother Wakasa's piece, it's about speaking out about how we're feeling rather than bottling it up. And I think that is part of the struggle that we had here, because for so long, we had to bottle shit up. We wasn't really allowed to show our real feelings, even though Elder Wakasa would chop my head off for saying that shit. You know what I'm saying? We was allowed to show the fear and the sadness, but really when it came down to it, me watching my son be whipped because he wasn't able to pick enough cotton, with me not being able to do shit, allows, in a sense, that motherfucker get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we got history to kind of show motherfuckers are still benefiting from the ills that they did to us. And part of that reason I believe that they are still benefiting is because in many ways we have remained silent.
You know what? I hate to say this, but I do want to go here. And this just makes me think of a current state where we are being silent, and where the issue continues to go. And where I'm going to talk about is where I tell them, please don't get mad at me.
I'm mad already. I was born mad.
I have sat and I have watched things go on in our community well, we won't speak up.
Right.
We will remain silent.
Yeah.
And then and then we pick and choose what we want to avenge or what we want to speak out against. And so I do watch. But the one thing, that I've learned over the years is that I believe what you're saying as far as I think about faith without works is dead. So you can have that belief, you know what I'm saying, and you can think that it's wrong, but if you don't I see what you're saying, if you don't put any energy, if you don't speak it, if you don't thank the universe in advance for that payback, then it may not come. You know what I'm saying? Not even. I remember I had someone that was very near and dear to me that was wreaking havoc on the community. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The things that this person was doing, robbing, stealing, didn't know until later, but killing. Right? I would say to this individual, I would say, something drastic is going to happen to you, and then he would say to me. That I was wishing death on him. I was wishing bad on him. And I would say, no, I'm really not. But I'm telling you that it's inevitable. It's inevitable. You can't go around here robbing and killing and taking, right? And hurting and think that these things are not going to come back to you. But because we live in this mind frame, or some people live in a mind frame where they don't believe that the universe will take, will avenge their wrongs, and their behavior. They live carelessly, right? Without morals, without values, because they don't think that anyone or anything will hold them accountable.
Right.
And I feel like that's where our deviance comes from.
See,
it is deviant to believe that your actions have no reaction.
But let's look at the picture that's been painted for those, and let's look at who they focus their fuckery upon. See, because historically there has been no consequences for fucking us over. Mm-hmm. Historically, we, you know what I'm saying, we do it to each other.
How do we know that though? How do we know that?
Look,
how do we know that?
How can you ask that when you was born during the era of drugs? I mean, the biggest era in drugs was between what, 60 and the 60s and the 80s, and everybody was justified in what they was doing because I need money. I got to get my money, man. Do whatever the fuck you need to do.
What happened to a lot of those people who
right? But I mean, there's a lot of them still walking around this motherfucker.
What happened to them?
A lot of them still walking around.
We're talking about lower level drug dealers. What happened to the people that actually have brought it over here and that produce these drugs? A lot of these people, like your Oliver North, what happened to them? What happened to Ronald Reagan? What happened to Rick Ross? Rick Ross' ass went to jail.
So, Brother Kwame say spiritual karma is not necessarily the Newton's second law of motion. For each action is an equal and opposite reaction. This deal with the physical universe, not so much the spiritual or metaphysical laws. Sister Cynthia say there is a such thing as asking for forgiveness to ancestors that have wronged others in order to remove any generational negative karma. Are we not part of nature? That's Brother Kwame's question, right? I mean, because it's like, yo, it's well, I don't know what he meant. I'm quite sure down here he explained, and then Sister Cynthia add, I think we do speak out often, but we're being ignored because really, what are we going to do as a whole? Protest, march, and they take us as a joke. Like all them niggas ain't going to do shit but riot in their community. And I wanted to go back to the point of, for us, doing a lot of crimes, when you look at a majority of the crimes that we do, it's against us. Not saying, not going to the whole argument with what about black on black. I ain't on that shit. But the whole piece is...
I want to start with, I apologize, but something that is rampant in my family, which I was protected from, was molestation.
Hell yeah. Because there was no consequences for it, I believe.
I have so many family members who, I have first cousins who go together. You know what I'm saying? Incest, generational curses. So I think about, I'm just going to share this real quick. When I was coming up, a lot of the people in my family are biracial. So I was one of like 5 or 6 dark complected people. And I remember they would tease me all the time about being dark, right? And I didn't know that my great-grandmother, whom I'm named after, this is something she brought from the South. She also despised me, which made sense as to why when my mother had me, my mother was not allowed to take me into the house, whereas my brother could stay there because he was very light, right? And so for many years, I hated my skin. I hated it because so many people. So what ends up happening, not too long ago, within this last year, I'm talking to my cousin who was treated a lot better because she was light skinned, right? And so we grew up in this church. I'm not going to say which church with, but it's actually like a cult, right? And in the church, I was never asked to do anything special. But my cousin was asked to do everything special. Well, unbeknownst to me, my cousin was on this thing, and she was called a wet and dry maid. When this a wet and dry maid, she was selected to be one of the top maids in the church, right? And so when the prophet would visit, she was fed, yes, and she was responsible for going into the bathroom when he went to the bathroom. This is a little girl. So all my life, I wanted to be light, right? As a kid, I wanted to be light, not knowing that my dark skin had protected me from being molested by the men that my grandmother would invite over, right? Not knowing that me in this ugly, what I thought was an ugly state was really my protection. And so here my beautiful cousin is living a life where she's just recently got, not recently, but she was at sometimes addicted to crack. We're the same age. But she's already been through the addiction because she was fighting those demons of what she came up with, right? And so when I think about, now going all the way back, my grandmother at some point got $650,000 in a lawsuit because my uncle, Children's Hospital, killed my uncle. My grandmother has nothing to show for that. Not a property, not a house, not anything. And it's so sad because people think that I keep myself away from her because I hate her. That's not the truth. God has already took care of that. It would do me no good to hate you, right? You're already living your most miserable life because you have to live with yourself. You have to live with the things that you did. Every day when you look in the mirror, every day when you see me and you see my son, you have to see that those people that you turned your back on, right? That you allowed to go into the system, that you would not help, right? You have to see that. So essentially, why would I don't need to wish nothing on you. It all happened to you. You lost everything. You thought money was everything. It came and it went, right? And now you have to live with yourself. And that is a tough thing. We had a kid, Teron Red, I'll never forget. I'm sorry, not Teron Red. We had a kid who killed his brother at Easton years ago. And when he came to the jail, they were doing the pre-sentencing and everything. And the guards kept saying, oh, he's not remorseful. He's not this and he's not that. And I said, what do you know about what that boy had to live with every time he looks himself in the mirror? You know what I'm saying? Y'all seeing the coping, right? Y'all seeing the defense. Y'all seeing that part of the grieving process that no one is, wants to admit is grieving. But every day that boy has to look himself in the mirror. Not only that, every week his mom and dad visit, he has to look them in the face. It's killing him inside. It's killing him. His brother didn't deserve that, and he didn't even mean to kill his brother. And now he has to go to adult prison, right? So we think that we kind of think that these people are getting away with things sometimes, and these people have to live with themselves. These people have to live with their own demons. These people on their deathbed some of these people are mistreated. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we never see it, so we think these people got away with stuff, not knowing they didn't get away with anything.
Even though we never...
I think that happens in some instances, and I think in some instances it doesn't. And though that may have happened there, I think that, for example, we'll use Chase. Oh no, let's use what's her name? That Hilton family, who has, they got their money off of the backs of slavery. That's how they began their wealth. Same thing with Chase. And through generations of generations, these people continue to benefit, like Hatem had mentioned earlier, from the wrongdoing of their ancestors. And
they benefit. But do you think that they have to also live with the fact that they're inferior? Every day they wake up, and in my eyes, I get that they got, what they say, more money, more problems. I get that they got money and everything, but every day they have to wake up knowing that they're inferior to a people who they're trying to be superior to.
Now,
like,
do you honestly, hold on, let me just say this. Do you honestly believe that they wake up honestly believing that they are inferior?
Every day, I am 100% convinced.
I mean, you're convinced, but like I said, I can't.
Why they work so hard to perpetuate?
I think they work so hard to perpetuate.
They're inferior.
I think they work so hard to perpetuate stuff because they understand legacy, and they know that in order to build legacy, especially in a capitalistic society, you have to have people up under you that you are able to take advantage of to make it to the top. And I think that's what they did. And I think they keep that up. And we keep on going into this whole, I believe that everybody get theirs in the end. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I'm not necessarily feeling that. Brother Kwame say we are part of nature, and thus we in constitution with nature act and make things happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so we have to take action. You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons a lot of our people move to the side of reality where they're trying to block it out is because they don't know. We haven't sat down and really went through the therapy that we need as a group. We haven't learned how to ask for help. We haven't learned how to, in a sense, truly show our pain. Like, for example, one of the things that I realized when Brother Wakesa came was that a lot of times that I thought I was mad in my life, when I went through them, it wasn't the fact that I was mad. I was misdiagnosing my emotional state. And by misdiagnosing my emotional state, I was acting out, and I never had an opportunity to heal that state until I realized what I was really feeling. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I mean, it's like, because I'm, as Eddie Foote said, when he was talking about boxing with between George Foreman and Muhammad Ali, he said, look, I'm not that wise to know what another man thinks or what another man feels. You know what I'm saying? I can't be hedging my bets on the fact that I think that this motherfucker think that they inferior to me, and they doing everything they need to do to be inferior or to feel because they're inferior to me. I honestly think that they're building legacy. I honestly think that they're building wealth for their future generations. I honestly believe that we are afterthought for them. If a thought at all.
If we look at Manifest Destiny, we know that we were forethought. That the thing that drives them is this idea that it's their job to what is it called? Civilized folks. That they're the only civilized folks. They've been socialized to believe that. So
why?
Why? It does like.
I mean, we go to that. We on Manslayer, but if we follow that logic, what is that logic telling you about them? If they believe that that's their job,
they've been socialized. They've been
socialized to believe that.
Like we've been socialized to believe certain things.
So if they've been, and now, because we're gonna get back to the socialization of us, but let's talk about the socialization of them. If it is their if it is their responsibility to civilize us, right? then they don't even look at you as a human. Really, when it comes down, they don't even look at. So if I kick a dog, I'm not gonna have second thoughts about that and go to bed worrying about whether this dog is superior to me. I kick this motherfucker. I feed this motherfucker. I take care, so I don't have to worry about that. That dog is an afterthought for me. And I honestly believe that with the people we're dealing with, we're afterthoughts. As a matter of fact, they're moving on to right now. It look like if you look at the politics, they're looking for the next nigga, right? You know what I'm saying? We're afterthought. I done got everything I get out of you. Now let me see who I get out of something next.
What were you going to say, Mel?
Well, I think that regarding the proverb, and they talked about how the family chased the murderer, and he ran here, and then he had came with a lion, and the snake was in the tree, and he fell and got ate by a crocodile. That does happen. But does this happen? This is what gets me with this. Because you know where I come from, the school of elder, aunt, and niece. So some of this stuff to me, I ain't going to say it. But anyway, I think that, have you ever heard this story? I'm going to give you a proverb. The family was chasing the murderer, and they slipped down a mud hole and died. You ever heard those stories before?
Yeah, I heard that one. I've seen that one.
Those happen. That's life to me. Things like that just happen. You know, you hope for the best, but when you're having an action and you expect a reaction, you don't know what that reaction may be. Now, he was going on and doing the right thing by trying to pursue. You know, you see people who, somebody in their family was unjustly murdered. They go after this person, murder them back. They get life in the penitentiary.
Right.
That happens. And then that's why I said we have to be careful what we put out to the universe, because sometimes we'll be wishing something, wishing that, and the universe will only hear part of it. And that bad will come back on you and your family. So you have to your energy is everything. And so we just have to be conscious how we use it. But I want to say this piece. The one piece that I love about spirituality and libations is this idea of, this idea surrounding our guardian ancestors. And even before I was fully put on to this idea and understood it, hopefully, I had read this poem, Do Nos to eulogy to do know, something like that. It's in German, right? And so this guy is lamenting about this death, and he's asking God, can he see this loved one that died? And God says no, because to see this loved one, you would see all your imperfections, because that loved one is now perfect. I think about my ancestors when they say that the ideas that I know for a fact, even before I began to understand libations in guardian ancestry, I understood that I understood that I had protection, right? I would hear these voices saying, slow down, don't go here, don't do that. And it took so many times before I became obedient. But then one time I lost someone, and it was not that it was not like that. It was more of a haunting. Whereas all these years I've had people die, and I knew I could feel their presence. You know what I'm saying? I could hear their voice. Like, I could feel them guiding, protecting me. But one time, someone close to me died, and it was a haunting. It was so bad that I was going to neck her. I was going to turn myself in, because I just knew I was psycho crazy and seeing things, right? And so what I realized after that individual step was that some of us become godlike, perfect. We are guardian ancestors. I'm here. I'm omnipresent. All of these things. I'm all-knowing. I'm all of these things. But then some of us ain't going to make it. So I'm thinking about these individuals who have did so many wrongs, whose wrongs won't outweigh their rights. Going back to, who am I going back to? The scales, right? Your wrongs are going to outweigh your good. Your bad is going to outweigh your good. So you don't get any of those godlike features. Instead, You get to watch life go on. You still here in the spirit, but you don't have any of those powers. That alone is punishment.
Now, but
in my eyes.
Now,
and I wonder how many
there is also an
African. That's if that's what happens, though. That's if you believe that's what happens. Because now we're getting into where, we're talking about what we believe, because none of us can actually prove that that's what happened. So that's what you believe happened, and it may very well happen. I don't know.
Yeah, we construct our own understanding, though. Through the universe and how we interact with it, we construct that understanding. So I can, I'm just sharing the understanding I came to after an experience. Right, an experience that was very real to me. The same way I'm sitting here listening to your voices, you know what I'm saying? And we're here having this dialogue. I experienced something many years ago that changed my perception on what happens and helped me understand why it's most important that your good outweigh your bad. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on now. Let me say this.
I had never experienced before.
Now, in African, let me read what Kwame says. Going backwards a little bit, and he could go and clarify this a little bit. He said, you are referring to a people who have no conscience, no morality, no. And I don't know exactly.
Urugu,
right.
The Urugu,
right.
No.
Right,
Urugu,
right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we're pressing somebody with a conscience that don't necessarily have a conscience. And then we have a lot of us that act in their stead that don't have consciences, because really to have a conscience, you can't really be a super capitalist and have a conscience. You know what I'm saying? So we dealing with individuals that don't necessarily even look at the universe in the same way we do. They don't look at the spirit. They look at this, I got this life, this is all I got. I got to get as much as I can so that I can enjoy myself for as long as I can. And then you got those that's going to do that same thing, but then they try to make sure they're able to pile something up for the next generation. But then also,
what about the laws of the universe?
Hold on now. See, those laws of the universe, now this is the issue. When we talk about the laws of the universe, when you say something is a law, right, you got to have proof. Now, I don't know, reciprocity. Now, I have seen reciprocity, but I can't force reciprocity on everybody. I can't force my universal truths or the ideas that I have on everybody. But hold on. When we say it's a law, that means it works the same. When we say it's a law, it works the same for everybody on this planet. Gravity is a law. If I walk off the damn porch, and I don't want to walk on the steps, I walk off the porch, I'm getting pulled down to earth. That's a law. Now, right now, what we're talking about is spiritual beliefs, right? And one of the things that kind of block us from moving forward is that a lot of our spiritual beliefs benefit our enemies, period. You know what I'm saying? Because I want you to think about this. If, for example, we'll get these beautiful tablets about how the Kemites live, right? And their beliefs and shit, right? But yet you can't balance these in when they go to war. What happens when they go to war? You know what I'm saying? What happens when I'm going to war with another motherfucker that's trying to take my shit? Am I supposed to follow these? Let me tell you what happens when you follow these laws, like for these rules, right? There's a battle that me and Kwame laugh about all the time, where ancient it might not have been Kemet, it might have been Egypt at this time, but they had a strong belief in the power of the goddess. I can't remember her name, but her symbol was the cat. Whoever they went to war with knew that they had a very special place for cats, and they threw the cats out in front of them, and the cats started running through the lines, and the warriors from the other place was able to whoop Egypt's ass because they believed in some goddamn cats. Come on now. And in a sense, what happens to us, our spirituality is those cats that they throw up in front of them, and a lot of the spirituality that we picked up, or the religious beliefs that we picked up, come from them. So who else is it supposed to serve? And I know some people be like, well, we wrote this, we wrote that. But if the interpretations that we are taking is coming from our enemy, then we always going to lose. Right? So my piece going back to the story is that reciprocity didn't even begin in process until this man was running for his life. And in a sense, we got to make sure that people understand that when they mess with ours, there's a consequence. Period. You know what I'm saying? You can't shoot one of you can't.
What about when we mess with ours? What about that?
Now, that's even that is not see, but hold on. What I'm saying is not just exclusive to them. Cause now, one of the things that a brother told me years ago, and he wasn't even a conscious community. He told me, because I was forming an organization, and in one minute it was blooming and it was blowing up, and then the next couple of months he came and picked me up, and we sat down and we was chilling, and I told him some of the stuff was going on. He said, "Yo, dog, what you got going on is a purging." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "Every organization has to go through a phase where you start finding those people that are real and those people are not, and those who are not, you have to chase them out." Right now, in a sense, in many ways, we as a people have to go through a purging. This is why I keep on saying tribe up, right? Because there's going to come a time, where we might need to really depend on those people that think like us. And we ain't going to be able to depend, because other people who are forced by, who believe in all this other stuff, they're going to turn you in because of some of the shit you done did. Because you don't believe like they believe. We need to start tribing up. I'm just saying, because the whole piece is everybody else is circling their wagons except us. And we the only ones with enough sense to know, look out in the world and be like, well, damn. Asians circling up, Hispanics circling up, white folks have been circled up. What are we gonna do? And then, of course, we're gonna have to look at ourselves and be like, dude, you can't do that here. From the abuse of others to the abuse of children. Of course, we got to deal with that shit. But first, we got to understand the code. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Somebody on the phone, I think.
Yeah, somebody else on the line. Who else on the line? I thought somebody hung up. Is somebody else on the line?
I'm on the line.
Who is it?
Brother Kwame.
What's up, Kwame? Signing with that deep, sexy voice. Come on, man. Kwame, come on through. And don't speak no Spanish. It's on you. What you gonna do, Kwame?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they dropped me off of Facebook for you too?
No, just I thought I wanted to say something, but I saw you already tempered it. So
right, yeah, because we dealing with, it's crazy. And then also, check this out. Do you know that within tribes, there are different rules and different ways that you treat people outside that tribe? This is every tribe. Mm-hmm. This is every tribe. We the only ones that's trying to be universal. I'm just saying. We the only ones that try to be universal. We accept anybody. White person come in, they could dance. Bring them on in. Give them this card. You know what I'm saying? Hispanic, you know what I'm saying, can rap. You know what I mean? You know, and of course we're gonna have allies. But we have to kind of, tighten it up. I'm just saying, tighten it up just a little bit.
You be on that, and I really don't be on that, Hatim.
You don't have to. Like I said, because everybody ain't part of my tribe. I understand. I'm not even mad at you because I got to be honest with you. You're right, and I feel I have to be on that because I still got a little bit of warrior spirit in me. And it's like boom. I'm watching and I'm seeing what's going on around me. I got to sit up here and look at my kids and launch them into a world that is not designed for them to succeed. Period. But go ahead. Somebody else was about to say something.
This is what we can, in the state that we're in as a people, and I'm just going to talk about in this country at the moment. the state of, well, or even outside the country, but the state of the condition that we are in as a group, we can have different tribes.
Oh, yeah.
But I think, like Brother Malcolm said regarding the religion, leave your religion at the door. We should be bonding basically on the one thing we do all have in common, and all that other stuff that we don't, we should be able to set that to the side.
Thank you. I agree.
We got the same person with their foot on our neck, and that same that same system. So we, even though we may have different tribes, you know, we still can come together as a group and have different tribes. Just like, you know, a perfect example of that are, you know, the minority. Many, like if you look at South Africa and they're the minority and they're running shit, the white folks. You look even in this country, they can be the minority in an area, like we can say, but they'll run shit. You know why? Because when they fight with each other, you know, especially the type of work I do, I work with them all the time. They fight with each other, they stab each other in the back, but damn it, if it comes to something where these Negroes think they about to do something that's going to affect us as a whole, they all come together then.
And they willing to take your ass out too. I'm just saying.
I have a coworker that does this daily. I've watched her, and this is someone I talk to in private. I will watch. I work with this woman who is afraid of people that look like me, and she said it out loud, right? And so this other woman, she's had different experiences. She's a little more cultured, right? And so she doesn't agree with this woman. She thinks this woman's work ethic stinks. She'll tell me that in private. But when these people are together, she will stand by this woman. She won't say anything. No, but she won't say anything. She won't speak her mind against this woman, right? So it's like your silence now is support. You know this woman is trash, but you won't say it out loud because you got to put on a unified front.
That's their peoples.
That's right. They get
that's her tribe.
They
that's
get
her
on code.
I don't agree with you. Like Lady J, me and you don't have to agree. But whether it's a white dude or a black dude or somebody else come and disrespect you and I'm in the room, this shit ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna happen. Now, the piece that, because the only piece that I'm saying, because family, and another piece we got to be clear on, that if you are in their way, now, y'all in agreement with them, but be out of agreement with them. Watch what happened to your ass. They're going to assassinate you either by taking your job or by taking your life. See, we got to understand that other people don't have any scruples because they are not held responsible by their God like we are held responsible to our God. Hell, as a matter of fact, the white boy that shot up that gaming thing, he in a minute gonna be uplifted in that white supremacist, white hegemony, however you said, Lady J. He's gonna be elevated as a martyr in that shit real soon.
He already has been.
Now, the white boy that stabbed the black girl in the neck. You know what I'm saying? Dylan Roof. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they are very clear with us. Our children, they wayward. Listen to the description of a motherfucker that walk in and murder people. That's not us. That's them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they understand that they need crazy motherfuckers like that. Just like all of us know when there's an issue around the neighborhood that we need Cousin Pookie. We don't want Cousin Pookie around any other time. Except when there's beef. And we call Cousin Pookie. You know what white folks call their Cousin Pookies? They call them Special Forces. God damn it. They call them Marines. They call them Army. They call them Navy. They call them Lieutenant. They call them Sergeant. They call them Captain. You know what I'm saying? Because they prepare for that. They prepare for that. Because their whole dynasty is built on war, and we are honestly believing that they have a conscience about that shit. when I keep on saying we are afterthoughts. We're afterthoughts. We're casualties of war. This is what happened. They'll tell you that shit. Even when they bombing kids in Afghanistan. Well, we made a mistake. They're friendly fire. They're casualties of war. And in war, we have already calculated how many lives it's going to take. You don't think that if they have to come into our neighborhoods, you don't already think they know how many people they got to kill in order to get us to act right? They already got that shit calculated.
Well, they already, and they don't mind.
They don't mind doing
a few of their own in the process.
Oh, the shit. Listen.
So my train of thought is this. So I'm in agreement with the principle, let's say, of leave your religion at the door. Where I differ with it is that I think a person should bring their religion in with them. That's going to make them passionate. That's what's going to keep them passionate. However, when your religion has kicked in the way of what the goal of the group is, that's when you should just fall back. I don't mean for you to just disappear, but if that's something you can't participate in, then you get the fuck out of the way of what the group has to do. So that's where I differ.
Now, but then also, Kwame, you weren't the only one that differed with that. Malcolm X kind of differed with that shit too. Because the very thing that catapulted Malcolm X to where he was, to the way he was thinking, to a lot of the accomplishments that he made, was the very religion that he was clinging to. You know what I'm saying? The major thing
he was willing to leave that religion at the door.
No. That's what he say. But we all
as uniting with someone who may not be of his same religion. He was willing to not be like, well, you're a Christian and I can't fool with you because you over there eating pork and sleeping with white women. You think everybody's equal. I can't fool with you. That part right there, he was willing to leave at the door. If you go upside this head with me against my enemy, then, we doing it.
All right, I'm just saying. Because once again, I'm with Kwame on that whole passionate piece, and I think we got so many religions, old and new, in our community that it may be hard for us to ever come together because the religion is what forms right now. Religion, not statistic, not numbers, not rational thinking, is what forms people right now. Most people are not moved by numbers. I put numbers out on the show, and people are still tell me how they feel, or tell me about all types of mythical shit that's going on out in the world. Like we got a black Wakanda somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But the numbers speak for themselves. Motherfuckers is gonna go with their passions. They're gonna go with their illusions.
The Queen said it correctly, though. I think that again, the whole point in mentioning the white woman who stands with the white woman is that we don't do that. And the other piece is when we think of who our enemy is, if we spend so much time dividing ourselves, how do we unite in order to get the job done? Like I just want to just identify. I want to focus on what the goal is. What place? I'm thinking of Hotep. what our goal is, and who our common enemy is. Because normally when you get a common enemy, then it's like you're focused.
Now,
but as long as we can identify the common enemy, then we're not focused. I'm going to just give you an example. The example is that I have been saying for many years, probably since 2010, 2012, this whole piece about propaganda and socialization and the fact that our young people at their most impressionable stages need not watch TV unsupervised. And I have people who will argue with me and say that TV is not the problem, this, that, and the other. The truth is that it is the problem. It definitely is the problem.
Lady J, until you prove that, until you bring the numbers, you can't say stuff like it's proven. Really, because there is studies
I
out
can
there.
bring the numbers on that. I mean, and listen here, just because I can grab my own numbers, okay, and my own numbers say, and I talk to different people and coming up, especially in my area living where I have lived, coming up, TV taught me and other masses of people like me that white was right. That's what I learned from TV, and a lot of my other friends learned it too. And I talked to people all over from we all had the same concept. And a lot of it came from what we learned in school and what we learned on television.
So,
in our generation, because in our generation, go ahead, Kwame.
No, finish up, please.
So, with that being said, we did, TV was, as a lot of, in mass numbers, the propaganda was real, and we bought into it. Especially when we were coming up, we didn't have a lot of positive black images on TV. Now, I don't know what they have.
We had Huggy Bear. What the hell you talking about? We had Huggy Bear.
Shit, what was positive about Huggy Bear? He was a pimp.
Was he? I didn't know Huggy Bear. I never seen Huggy Bear with one hoe.
That's what I think of Huggy Bear. I always think of a pimp.
Huggy Bear never had no. You talking about the other one on the other show? Huggy
Bear was a thirsty and Hutchinson.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the one I remember.
You talking about
Huggy Bear when he dressed in the flashy clothes and the.
That was the other show.
With the fish tank. That's the one I remember.
That's not
from Starsky and Hutch.
No, you got Huggy Bear was on Starsky and Hutch, and you had another one that was on Beretta. See, we old enough to remember that shit. But
see, I don't even remember anybody black on Beretta. All I remember is Beretta.
He always had a pimp that gave him information.
I don't remember anything of what.
Because you young. You young. Now, but listen. This is what I want to say. I want to read Miss Regina's comment. She said, religious suffering is at one and the same. The expression of real suffering and a protest against real suffering. Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of the heartless world, the heart of a heartless world, and the soul of soulless conditions. It is the opium of the people. She quoted Karl Marx on that. You know what I'm saying? And my piece is one of the keys that I believe. It's just a belief. Once again, I ain't got the numbers, but I like principle living, right? I mean, it's like just basically we got the 7 principles. If I can line up with what I'm saying, because my whole piece is I have been looking at war, I've been looking at battles, I've been looking at situations in my life. And a lot of times when the values don't line up, you always have some type of trail, some type of fuckery that goes on. My whole piece is, I'm trying to build a tribe that is based on principle. Like I said, you can have your religion, but I don't know no religion out there that the Nguzo Saba don't fit into or can enhance. This is why with Gye-Nyame, it is a principle-based system. It's not a system based on your belief.
If that is true, and what you are saying is true, then what difference does it make what religion people are?
Then you ain't just hear me say that?
Right.
You ain't hear me say that?
I
said, did you hear me? I mean, hold on. You're taking exception to something that I said that I didn't say. I just made it clear. I don't know no religion. Listen to me. I don't know no religion that can't use the Nguzo Saba or that the Nguzo Saba cannot improve. You could be whatever you are, but if you are practicing those principles, I can get with you.
Or are you saying what I found in my studies, Tim, is that I primarily studied the 5 major religions, but I haven't found out of those 5 major religions the Nguzo Saba is infused into those religions. It's the same. It's the same principle.
You don't listen to a word that I say.
That's what you're saying. That's
you heard a word, goddamn word I'm saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kwame.
I said that.
What is the basis for calling a religion major?
Uh-oh.
The number of followers.
You count on that?
Cultural diffusion.
That's what she's using that for. She's basing it on the number of followers as the
And cultural
major,
diffusion.
for lack of a better term.
No,
Saying those are the major ones based on the numbers.
Okay. Just remember that when you use that word major, you're using somebody else's definition.
Right.
And so, and again, I am very blessed and fortunate that, again, my parents got this whole education piece, and they would tell me you construct your own knowledge. So I understand. I'm using the word major, and I was able to explain to you what I'm calling major, as far as my understanding and my construction of knowledge. So it's just the number of followers and cultural diffusion, how they are, how noticeable they are in the world, right? In different countries and different continents. That's what I'm considering to be
based
major.
on numbers. She's saying based on numbers.
Kwame know what the hell she's saying.
Not somebody else may be minor.
It's not based on their hegemonic practices, correct?
Right.
No,
Wait, hold on. Let her answer, Davida. Let her answer.
And I'm familiar with hegemony.
Yes, he.
Because
I
think
mean, he know you
a
are.
lot of times, what we are. Yes, I believe a lot of times what we call
Lady J.
racism.
Lady
what we
J.
call racism is actually hegemony.
Lady J.
Yes.
Lady J.
Yes.
He understands because he listens to the show. He been peeping you out for a while. So go on, follow his line of questioning. So go on, finish your line of questioning, Kwame.
No, I'm
done?
just making sure that we all are on the same page as far as
definitions.
Yes, sir. But one thing again, I just was pointing out that in my studies, when I'm reading, when I'm teaching it, what I found is that the same, and this is what I love about where I'm at in my spiritual journey, is that the same things that I learn at camp or I learn in our meetings, the same things I'm learning about my African history is just, and it's evident everywhere, right? Like I see it. I'm speaking, and it's powerful.
Nah, but the only issue for me
is absolutely true.
Nah, but what I'm saying is also, I need people to exclusively be able to pull this out, and so that we can operate. Because now I don't need people operating in an idea of unity that includes all of us. You know what I'm saying? All of us in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, is unity when white people look at us and be like, y'all people of color. That's unity serving them. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Because one, I invoke the power of Kushaglia to say, fuck that. We black folks. I'm working with black folks right now. Oh yeah. Because when they lump us all together like that, they basically negate who the fuck you are. It's sort of like what Malcolm X say.
Who don't they lump with us? How many
exactly.
people of color don't
That's
they
a
lump
problem.
with us?
That's a problem. That's a problem for us.
Exactly, but
then that's a problem for your children.
Why don't they?
See, but hold on.
Because the truth of the matter is that they're outnumbered.
Nah, but hold on.
They're outnumbered.
Hold on.
So if I can convince you that you are the minority and I am the majority, I win.
Exactly. Now hold on. And hold on. Time out. The only time. Now let me say this, because if they convince us that they are the majority and that we are the minority, they win. Now. The reason in the quote they win right now is because we haven't got sick and tired of being sick and tired yet. Because this is the whole piece. They still at war with Arabia. They still at war with Muslims. Why? Because Muslims are willing to put that shit on the line. We haven't got to the point where it's like, man, you know what? Hold on. I'm at a point where I'm willing to blow you up and 7 of you to get you off my motherfucking neck. You understand what I'm saying? Now,
not just off my neck,
but off my people's neck.
Well, I got a piece for you, Hachim. I got a piece, and I'm just going to throw out this bone. And I've expressed that this bothers me. But I have to start where I can, right? I have to start where I can. Some of these things I'm not going to be able to change. I have to start where I'm at. And one thing that I would really love, and which is why Nas blocked me on Instagram, is because I would love another Black and Proud movement. I would love us to take that. I'm waiting patiently for some folks.
You can't wait patiently. You got to make that shit happen.
Can I finish?
Yeah, but it's always long. You so
Can
long.
I finish? Can I finish?
No.
When I think, and I'm going to tell you why I'm waiting, because I'm understanding socialization, I'm understanding culture, and I'm understanding mass media. And so, yes, I could redo it, but if I don't have the masses all over this country jamming and rocking out to it,
see, that's the problem, Lady J. Stop, Lady J, stop. No, I'm not going to let you finish. Stop.
Why am I waiting on the Black and Proud?
Stop.
Why am I waiting on this remix to come back? Because I'm tired of my friends telling me they're not Black.
Hold on,
I'm
time
tired
out.
of people
Time
telling
out.
me or being offended when I say that I'm Black. I'm tired of having to argue about whether we're going to use the term African American, Black, American, what the hell ever we're going to use.
What am I feeling?
At the end of the day, we are who we are. Why are we arguing over titles? Why are we afraid? You know what I'm saying? To be who we are.
Because
Why
nobody.
are we not proud?
Hold on.
Why are we not proud?
Because listen, time out, Lady J. Let me help you. Let me help you. The reason we're not proud, because maybe you're not proud, because I'm very proud of who I am. I'm very proud of what I'm doing. I just had a group of my young people out of their own garden feed over 100 people. I just had some of the young people, some grown men that I have worked with since 14 years old, fried food that everybody loved. The Black and Proud whole piece, you gonna wait for that movement. The shit is already happening around these parts. I'm just saying. I'm not talking. See, that's why I get upset. I'm not talking. Hold on. No. See, but where does it start?
I'm talking about
where does a movement start? A movement don't start in on social media. It don't start. That's where y'all go wrong. Because the 19th.
Do you not see how impressionable these people are?
You ain't even listening to me, so I ain't listening to you.
Jay-Z say he's Black and Proud. Tomorrow, everyone's going to be Black. I guarantee it. Everyone's going to be Black. I guarantee it.
No, but I don't need everybody Black. That's the problem. You're waiting.
Lady J.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Let Kwame go. Let Kwame go. You won't let me go. Let Kwame go.
But Lady J, you're correct. People are impressionable. Our people are impressionable. But where you're making a grave error in judgment is you're belittling the efforts that are going on right around you. And
I'm not belittling them. I'm in the midst of it every day.
No, so but you believe in your efforts.
When you get a chance to re-listen to this, I want you to go back and listen to when Hatem told you what his tribe, our tribe, is doing. I want you to go back to hear what you said to that. And then, to add insult to injury, you say, if Jay-Z, look, Jay-Z and Beyonce were the ones who were supposed to have gotten your girl Hillary elected. They failed.
I was being more upset about Jay-Z.
Let him finish, girl. Let him finish. Let him finish, sister. Lady J.
No,
go ahead. Go ahead, Kwame.
Your point, I got your point, but your point is missed on me because I know what we're doing right here.
I have no control.
I have no control over what Jay-Z does, and
you're right.
I give up the mic. I give up the mic.
I think
No,
that
Cynthia Johnson
this
is
is
not
what I
Lady
got
J.
that she's saying. This is what I got from her. Jay-Z was just a name that she threw out there, but I think what I got is this. She is saying if the people who, whether it be Jay-Z, Nas, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, whomever,
someone outside ourselves, in essence.
Because we need to be real. We need to be real, though. Like you said, our people are impressionable. Even though Jay-Z, you said he was supposed to get Hillary elected, and he didn't. I'm not familiar with what they did for Hillary Clinton or whatever.
They campaigned for her. They campaigned for her.
My
heavily.
thing is this. I think what the sister is overall trying to say is that, yes, I don't feel like she kind of pooed on the idea that Hatim has these village of young men.
All I'm going
to say, it's not Hatim, it's us, Navita. It's us.
I thought she said, well, that's in your village. She said, that's in your village. She said, that's in your village. But she's talking about the other villages that are not doing that.
But hold on. But she's coming.
And that's what she's trying to read.
Is our village. That's all we got control.
Because you know what? See what I mean? And I don't agree with that. Well, I agree we have some control, but it's still just because I'm still going to reach out.
But hold on, and that's the point. But hold on, that's the point. That's the point.
We are reaching our tribe. I work with young women. I work with young women every day. Not only with what I do with SIMSA, but I also use my cheerleading and drill team as a ministry as well to empower, to uplift it, to inform.
So
right?
Why not start the movement there? Wait, hold on.
Let me and I have started the movement, but this is what I'm saying. I work in a building with 530 children, the majority who look like me, right? And there's another building where I can't reach those children. What I'm saying is, I want to reach the masses.
No, hold on. Wait, time out. Listen to me. Hey, baby, I listen. It's about to get silent around this motherfucker real quick. I just need to listen. First off, you said another Black and Proud movement. One of the reasons that you might have issues is because maybe you don't have the historical idea about how James Brown brought out the whole Black and Proud song. He has some assistance with that and some motivation with that, with community Wait, hold on. I ain't finished. With community organizers going in to let him know that he needed to do some shit. Now, this is the piece. They didn't start on a national level. They started locally. And all I'm saying is, wait, we can control nothing outside of our circle, but we can continue to reach out and we can set examples. But hold on. But wait, stop. Let me finish. No, you listen. Listen. Hold on. No. Stop. Hold on. Time out. Baby, listen. Just because if you shut your mouth, let me give you the propaganda. First off, I'm doing this show 9 times a week. And it might be small numbers to you, but it's still masses. See, let me tell you something. And maybe you don't know this because you didn't experience this. But I was around at the golden age of hip hop. When one night, and this is literal, one night I walked in holding the verb stick with my black medallions. The next night I walked out and I was out of style. You know what? Everybody, the whole community was conscious, right? But motherfucker, wait, I ain't finished. But people wasn't sincere. See, you want to hit the masses when we need to hit and find those individuals that are sincere, because the masses.
It's going to light a fire.
We need to do both. We need to do both. I don't understand.
But I can't control. I can't. But this my point.
Thank you, Queen.
I can't. Navita, you nor I can control what any of those people in that media do. Now, but what we can do is
we have our own platform.
We have our own platforms.
I'm talking about my people. I'm going to build with the ones that want to build, that are on the same page as me. I'm going to build, and we're going to do that.
That's
together.
Right.
And I'm
That's
also
all I'm saying.
going to try to reach out to those who are not.
But isn't that isn't that what we do?
Be able to bring in because they know they don't have the knowledge. They haven't been fed certain things, so I can do both.
But no, Navita, time out.
Yeah, we can.
Time out. I'm gonna say this. You're not saying the same thing as her. I'm just gonna be. I know she's not.
You don't want her to. You don't.
No,
want,
I'm just saying.
Let me say this.
I'm just saying.
The other day, Drake drops a song. Kiki, do you love me?
Fuck
all
Drake.
Over everywhere, people are jumping out their cars doing the Kiki, do you love me? What I'm saying is, there is going to be, just like when Kendrick Lamar dropped and some of these other rappers came. I remember I was telling people years ago.
I'm trying,
I can go back to 2012, 2013, when I was saying, let's eradicate using the word nigga. Let's bring back niggas. It's very close, right? And I'm telling these rappers, I'm letting people know who rap locally that if you take the word nigga out your song and you use niggas, I will promote you on my platform. I'm not promoting you with that message. And what happens, Kendrick Lamar comes out, he uses niggas years later, and then it catches away. And some of those individuals fight. Not everybody. But what I'm saying is, propaganda is real, and
nobody is not saying propaganda is not real.
If we really want to make a move, we need to use that tool the way they use the tool against us.
Right.
You don't think that's what we doing? And instead of me waiting for a Jay-Z, rather than me waiting for a Jay-Z to start the Daily Toast and to do what I'm doing and to do the things with the guards, you wait, time out. Time out. But in a sense, when you say, hold on, in a sense,
in vain.
Man, come on.
Why would I be on here?
Come on, man.
So I don't think.
Maybe you're looking for a bigger platform to reach somebody. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But you say it every week. When we have these discussions, you say, Janelle, you're preaching to the choir. These people in here have a certain mentality. So while we get on here and we
use your real name.
I apologize, but we get on here and we have these discussions. But like you said, we are like-minded. Who do we really need to reach? Who do we really need to impress upon? It's not people, a lot of these people on this line.
Why I think she said, like when we were doing, when we were trying to plan the art festival, that's why it was big to me to bring the Prince piece in. Because we're going to bring people that would typically not be interested, and then we feed them while they're there. That's how she used that as a tool to feed them while they're there, just like with the Malcolm X festival. I was like, let's get a band.
That's a marketing piece, and we understand that perfectly well. I'm going off of what was said. Now, yes, your actions would belie what I was hearing. And yes, I'm more inclined to go with your actions, but we need to be conscious of what we're saying.
I would tell anyone the things I know, the things that I do between 8 and 8 at night ain't for. I don't get my work. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about me.
But listen,
you know what I'm
Lady
saying?
J.
All that I'm saying, I'm going to give another example.
No, make it short, though. Make it short.
I wanted to be a part of a conscious group, and one thing that I was very, because of the way I choose to wear my hair, right? These people in this group shunned weave. It didn't matter that my hair was braided, right? All I could hear is that we, right? So now you're basing me and you're judging me. You're not even getting at my intellect, my thinking. You're going to look at me on the outside and determine if I'm fit to be in your tribe or in your group. Not thinking what else I'm bringing to the table. So all of a sudden, automatically, I turn my back. And I feel like that's what we do when we do religion. That's what we do when we do diet. Oh, if we're going to do this, then we're only going to do this, and we're only going to do that. How are we going to get anywhere if we keep putting up parameters?
Now, hold on.
That's what she kind of, I think that's what she meant. And I understood what she meant.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, at the end of the day,
I don't get it.
If we just take all that other stuff, like
you know
she
why?
mentioned, what do we call ourselves, all that stuff,
Listen.
to me, it's not that important as we have a common enemy, and let's focus where we do agree.
But listen.
Let's focus where we do agree.
Now, let me ask you a question. There's a movie out called The 300. You know why they call it The 300?
Because of them 300 motherfuckers. Huh?
It wasn't 300 there. There was about 2,500 people there. But they called it 300 because 300 Spartans was willing to die, and the rest of them ran away at the end of the motherfucking battle when it came time to die. My issue is, hey, y'all gonna get everybody else. But I already experienced that piece. I seen what happened. All it takes is, if you get them with propaganda and you don't have a heart, soon as the propaganda change, so do they. My issue is, I'm not restricting anybody from looking at anything that I'm saying or anything that I'm doing. Lady J, if you time out. Hey, I just was quiet. I just listen. Because Kiki will be forgotten in less than 6 months. Nobody be talking about Kiki. They're going to be talking about the next hot thing. And my issue is, hold on, time out. This is not a hot thing for me. I've been talking about the same shit for all these years, and I probably will continue talking about it to my grave. And my issue is, I have watched people come and go. I have watched this become popular and watch it become unpopular again with individuals. And out of every 10, I get 1. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? With the outreach, because when Sister Davida, you already know, when you came in and you was talking about bands, I didn't stand against you. When you talked about Prince, I didn't stand against you. The whole piece that I'm saying is, I don't believe that anybody had the right to belittle what the fuck we doing right here. What you doing, wait, lady, no, time out, Lady J. Be quiet, please. Because listen, because you might not hear it. But when you like, I need Drake, and you got over 50 young black girls sitting right there at your command, listening to what you got to say.
What do I do? What do I do? What, am I not a rapper? Do I not take they trendy beats and they trendy and turn them around and rap about positive and how to behave in a classroom? I do it every day, and my kids love it. But I haven't went viral yet.
But hold on, time out.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying you can do both.
But hold on, ain't nobody listen. The issue is, you want to get the mass appeal when the message you got is not necessarily determined for the masses. You want to go viral. Right? And that's cool.
And I get that.
Well, hold on. I get that. Well, hold on, Navita. You know from our little business dealers, it ain't a lot of money, right? But from what we're doing, we're able to see some daylight. That's all I'm saying. It's like, yo,
okay, but
hold on, we have it. But hold on, Navita, right now, Navita, we are on Facebook Live. We are doing both. This is the issue.
Okay.
We're doing both. We can have our own conversation.
Where is my friend on the call? Where is he been at?
Who?
Shaka. Where's Shaka? Because Shaka, I said it before, Shaka performed on this line before, and I said, there it goes right now. There it goes right here. He got the talent,
Vicky!
He got the style, everything. There it goes.
To me.
If we, I feel he has it.
Vicky!
He has it. Where's he at? Let him be our voice.
Well, okay, speak game though. It's a Drake. I don't care if it's a trend right now that, the Drake come on and he start, dropping this some type of knowledge that's beneficial to us. The key piece is you're not going to get everybody. Because like you said, the next trend come along, they knock them people out because it's not in their heart. But for the ones that got into it and began to learn and study, then I'm glad we got those.
But hold on.
We
ain't maximizing what we got right now, Navita.
Or somebody else. Like, for example, a Sarah student SETI. You know, I like SETI. I used to really like him before the whole beef thing came along. But I like SETI. Some people don't like SETI. But when I used to I might show somebody a John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, and they don't want to hear it. It didn't even catch their attention. It was boring to them. But when I threw SETI at them, they sat down and they listened, and then they came in the door. Or when I threw Ray Hagans at some people was accepting, but he comes in with a little bit of a Christianity approach is still in there somewhat for some people. And when they come in, you know, it's more palatable for a certain group of people. And then once they be, including myself at one point, and then once I began to study and learn and read, I grew. And that's all I'm trying to say. We can hit people with different angles. If we can pull you in through Drake, then we're going to pull you in through Drake and hope that you learn and eat. And then you like, you know what, I don't even need that Drake piece no more.
I honestly think that for some reason, y'all might have not understand what I was trying to say.
I do, Tim, and
I'm just
I think we basically agree, though. I think we basically agree.
But it's
that
like
we can use
I feel bad that you think that I feel bad, and I feel perplexed that you would think that I would belittle what you have done, or
it ain't just me. And I want to be clear on that. It ain't just me. It ain't just me. But my whole piece is if we focus. But hold on.
Am I not in the same boat as you?
Hold on.
If that's the case, I may not have been doing it long as you, but I've been putting my blood, sweat, and tears into this here movement as well. Just doing the things that I can in my space, in my community, with the people I know. I'm doing what I can, but what I'm saying is on a mass, if they are socializing our people every time they turn on the TV, every time we turn on the TV, we got to be bombarded with negative images, negative messages about who we are and where we come from. It's time we
Lady J.
It's time we use our platform just like you do.
They don't got no goddamn platform. Drake don't got no goddamn platform
right now.
Drake
I use my
platform is owned by somebody else. But that's
so, Lady J, what I hear coming from you is the sense of urgency. I don't even necessarily know that it's about mass as much as the sense of urgency.
It's not about the sense of urgency. It's about
okay. So let me.
Tim looks at it, and me and him have talked about our differences many times. Tim is more of, if you don't fit, like, okay, so Tim's going to open up a community, right? In order to move into Tim's community, you have to be A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And if you're not A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, Tim's not
get
fooling
the fuck
with
out.
you.
Get the fuck out.
There's no room to bring in people into Tim's community and then get them and impress upon them this and let them see why this is better or why they should do this. And then get them.
Lady J, hold on, you a teacher. Can I bring a motherfucker who ain't got a degree up into your classroom to teach? You are a teacher, right? Can I bring a motherfucker that don't have a degree up into your classroom to speak? To teach. Can they come into your classroom?
Say it one more time.
Can somebody be brought up into your classroom that don't have a degree to teach?
Correct. We bring them into the school.
Right. Hold on.
We bring them
into
the
school. Their institution. So in their institutions, we can have qualification, but I got to have my door just open for anybody that might just be interested in possibly dabbling with the shit that I'm talking about. I'm not on that. This ain't no dabble. You could dabble out in the community. You can go and find about this shit on YouTube. You go and play with this out there. When I'm talking about building something so that people could come that have already arrived, nigga, go find yourself out there.
In your building, aren't there people without degrees doing jobs?
Now, hold on.
Are there
Hold on,
people
time
who are
out.
not
Time out.
qualified
Time out.
doing
Time
jobs
out.
and doing
Time
them
out.
well?
Let's be
I
clear.
don't get it.
Let's be clear.
I don't get
And
it.
what I'm talking about, where is the degree coming from? The degree is coming from us. The people who have established the tribe, the people who have established that complex that we have built, it will be coming from them. So if you are qualified to be in, you could be in. But, you know, only when it comes to us are we got our doors open and we want everybody. You I mean, you got to understand that none of our enemies is running shit like that. Not just any Asian.
I need y'all. This is my thing,
I need the army.
That's not what that means. That's not what that means. When you say you, of course, I need y'all to learn.
She brought up the community. I didn't. Hold on, time out.
Multitask a motherfucking thing for a second.
Uh-oh.
You can't bring in the masses and weed out the shit that you know ain't right. But you got to get them there and then weed the shit out.
No.
Oh
my
How hard
God.
is that? You're making
No.
shit more complicated.
See,
And
no.
you know
That's
what
not-
I'm saying.
that's not-
You
no.
gotta take everybody
Navita.
because they come. This
Navita.
is a cool-ass
Navita.
nigga that came up in there. He got to go.
Navita.
And then the ones that
It don't work like
we
that.
bring them
It
in.
never worked like
Guess
that.
what? And they gonna take
It
their
never worked
wings
like
out.
that.
They wasn't ready when they
Navita.
came, but they are now.
No, I have a question for how many organizations have you belonged to that were infiltrated?
How many organizations that I belong
that I
to?
personally belong to? Carmen, you got some music to recollect some shit. I probably have some. I just may not be able to recollect at the moment, but I'm sure I have some.
And it's probably the reason why you're not together today.
Well, I know
mean,
of
it's
an
a possibility that
organization
some of them.
that's being infiltrated right now. Folks don't even know it.
But that's that's getting to the point. That's why.
You know, it's a good
it's not
infiltration.
But listen. So if we're going to base the fact on, because I've been infiltrated before, I ain't going to even open the door to motherfuckers. They're not silly. Open the door. You always, no matter what you do, you're always going to take a chance of being infiltrated, no matter what the fuck.
That's
you do.
true.
But
if you put,
but weeding that out.
Exactly. Wait, hold on.
Weeding it out.
Hold on. This is
Don't
why.
mean you close the door though.
Hold on. No, wait. Time out. Navita, where you getting that from? Now you
okay, no one's saying take every damn body that you get, no matter what state
No.
they're in. If they
Name an organization that do that.
Saying that.
Name one organization besides the black organizations that we belong to that do that shit. Even at least in the Christian church, you got to go through a welcoming class, another class, and then be baptized, then pay the tithes. Now, that's called, you know what that's called? You know what that's called?
Y'all keep making it
Navita, you know what that's called?
You just don't bring that motherfucker in and say, I'm going to make you the president, and I ain't even fucking screamed you. I think this is shit that we're supposed to do.
But you ain't saying anything different now than what Hakim was saying.
Right, I agree with that, but I thought that was a given.
No,
I thought that was a given.
It's not a given. Not when you say you bring somebody in, then you weed the shit up out of them. It's not a given. Hold on. That's what happens when you just bring people in. That's what happens. Because you already been in organizations where we have been over. Wait, time out. You have already been in organizations where we have been overwhelmed.
I'm trying to reach people. Who are we bringing in? I'm just trying to get the message out to the masses. Like I said, one thing that I'm very upset
then write a book, Lady
and
J.
perplexed by and bothered
do a discussion.
by is the number of black people who don't want to be called black. I am bothered by the number of people who will disassociate themselves with Somalians and Ethiopians, black people who are us. I am bothered by that. How do we get the message out to them, to my children, that they are, it is okay and it is something mighty to be proud of, to be black,
Navita,
to be from the land of the black. How do I communicate this?
Lady J.
So that they will stop hurting themselves and hating themselves.
Lady
How
J.
do I get this out to the young people?
In your practice, because you can only control people in your sphere, and if you do it long enough, you will eventually get a tagline to some of the people that you're talking about. But right now, you want to jump right to where everybody wants to rush in. Trust me, I'm trying to tell you. I have been in situations where everybody, all of a sudden, because it's the hot meme at that point in time, have come rushing in. But y'all don't want to listen to me. I'm just the old nigga.
That's how I agree with you, Hot Tim. That's how I got hooked, though. Hot Tim, I had to be on Instagram. I had to come across a community that I had some things in common with, and then that brought me to where I am today. But I had to come across it. It had to be out there for me.
No, but hold on.
Had to be out there.
It is out there.
I agree with you, Hot Tim.
It's out there.
I agree.
You ladies,
I agree that
Hot Tim and I didn't come in the same way.
Listen, we done been.
Were you not listening to a slideshow by Nomo that grabbed you and made you want to look a little deeper?
Right.
I mean, shoot, hell, when I got to college, I was being exposed to the likes of Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and all these individuals and stuff, and even then, I was, quote unquote, on the periphery because I was only there to set up, and take down the rooms that we had prepared for them.
And that's how we should do. This is my thing, and I agree with Hot Tim on that. There should be a problem. When I say bring them in, y'all can bring them in, but like we'll say that they can open that door, but you ain't going to make it to this door unless you made certain strides and you have to go through that door. Right. You have to be at a certain levels to this thing. That's why I say it's levels.
And that's all I'm saying. And it's like, if we do a community, if we was to buy a territory, if we was to buy apartment complexes, the people that will move in that apartment complex are those people around us, because I'm going to say this. We're not doing the most effective job of reaching the people right next to us. And we're talking about we want to reach out to the masses. We ain't doing a good job of reaching our cousin Pookie and Leroy and them and shit that might even have some
cousin Pookie and Leroy can't be reached. That don't mean, I'm telling you now, I'm hitting all fucking avenues.
But nobody, listen,
if I can't hit Pookie, I'm jumping over Pookie and I'm going to hit the next and the next and the next.
You're not listening to me. Y'all, listen, neither one of y'all, in some instances, y'all not listening to me because I'm saying, have we done the most effect? Because check this out. What if Pookie is 3 people away from getting into the ear of that positive or of that popular rapper that you want to reach?
You ain't dealing with Pookie though. You know you ain't dealing with Pookie.
Who?
Pookie don't meet your standards.
Time out. Time out. Hold on. Now, let me be clear. Let me show you my process, right? Hold on. See, and you want to be funny, but let me be very clear with you, Lady J. Now, let me be clear with you, Lady J. Let me be clear with you. Since the age of 18, 19 years old, I've been doing this shit. I don't have to deal with Pookie no more. You know why? Because I've trained other people to deal with Pookie. Pookie can't just get direct access to me, goddammit. And Pookie shouldn't have direct access to our motherfucking, to people that's doing shit. Pookie need to prove his motherfucking self, and I got a whole system set up for Pookie. If Pookie can't make it to that process, Pookie don't get to sit at the motherfucking table and have anything to say to me. And he can't get to my motherfucking elders. So now, I'm telling you right now, we the only people that open the door for everybody. See, because it's like you able to talk because when you came through, you was able just to walk through. Why? Because my old ass was able to walk you up and say, look, she thorough. Because one of my young people brought you to me and told me that you was thorough.
My work speaks for it.
No, time out. It's pretty people. You ain't the only person out there working.
Seriously, I think we all agree.
That was the other
piece. Wait, hold on. Your work don't speak. Your work don't speak for yourself. Your work don't speak for you. Your work don't. Your work.
Let me
wait, hold on. No. Your work don't speak for itself. No, I ain't letting you say. I'm about to. No. Because I listen.
Let me remind you. You remember I came and sat down in your office and I said to you, you won't remember this. I had just been hired. I came and I sat down in your office and I said, sir, I have a young man I have a son who lost his father. He has not exhibited any issues now, but I know he will be exhibiting issues later. Is there something that you have here for him? And after you gave me my answer, you know what I did? I went and I withdrew my children out of schools where there was no black people. Every day for a whole month, my kids came home from their new school, and I asked them, did they see a black person? Not a librarian, not a lunchroom staff, not a custodian, not one black person in that building. And what did I do? I brought them to where I was. Why? Because I know what my children need.
Why you come and talk to me about that?
Needed.
You didn't know me.
Initiative.
Why? Wait, hold on. Why did you come to me?
Come on now.
Why did you come to me?
Come on now, Hatim.
Because you didn't know me. Why did you come to me?
I came to you. I came and sat in your office.
Now, but the reason,
and you're right, I did not know you.
And the reason that the doors open up for you was because somebody vouched for you because they put you through what I put them through. Period. You don't want. But maybe it's beyond the fact that a black man could set up something that possibly can because you don't. I mean, listen, and I don't. And that's the difference between possibly. That might be the difference possibly between us because I have never given up on my people. I have been in organizations. I have been in organizations where people have been infiltrated. I would talk with elders who organizations have been infiltrated, and they had systems like we got set up. I have been in organizations where individuals have been infiltrated and been murdered, and y'all sitting up here telling me, "Hey, I want to get the masses."
I think y'all agree for real.
There were women. There were already. I just don't understand Hatim because, like I said, it would behoove me to belittle what we do every week here with this wisdom mind. It would behoove me to belittle this. But my only argument is that when we understand propaganda and the tools used against us, we will begin to use them for our advantage. And that's the only thing I was speaking of when I said that I would like a global black. Does that mean I'm not going to continue to do what I've been doing now and what the same thing I've been doing since 2000? No, I'm going to continue working with where I am with the people that I have. I'm going to continue to do that. All I'm saying is that I would be so fortunate to see and to hear on a global stand people chanting that they're black and they're proud. Because nowadays, when I'm working with the youth, when I'm on my social media, what I find is that people are not proud to be black, and it's killing me. It's killing me. Even people
because you're listening to the wrong people.
Even people in the conscious community.
You're listening to the wrong community.
100 comments arguing over what term we're going to be called,
what
label we're going to take. That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. You in the wrong tribe, baby.
It's keeping us from working toward and getting to the enemy.
That's you.
We so preoccupied with all things that don't matter. We're not getting the job done. Get
Time
out
out.
of here.
Time out. Check this out. I'm gonna say this. I made Kwame through one of my teachers. Kwame, are you black? Are you proud to be black, my brother?
Too black, too strong.
Too black, too strong.
I shall.
How about you, Sister Navita?
I'm too black, too strong.
How about you, Sister Cynthia? Brother Kwame? Sister Regina? You know what I'm saying? Sister Cynthia Johnson? Who else? Brother Ishmael? Let's go. See, because my issue is this. I've been doing this for so long that I have marital problems about this shit. Because my wife say, nigga, you talking to yourself. You've been talking to yourself since you met me. You've been talking to yourself since before you met me. Now you come on, you like, Brother Hatim, we need to talk about propaganda. I understood the need for propaganda. That's why we got the show. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm doing it, and I'm going from absolutely nobody listening to where every time I go to one of my channels, I'm looking at about 35 people listening. And now, according to how things grow, if I'm correct, it may be exponential, but it's slow because you don't, a lot of people ain't counting it and shit. But I love the 35 people that's tuning into my show right now because maybe some of those wasn't some people that was listening before. And it's like this. I'm not necessarily out here. I'm not turning away the masses from what we do. I'm putting it out here on Facebook because I could put this shit on on a private YouTube channel and send everybody a link because I got 100 people in my phone book that may come. But I put it on Facebook so everybody can see it. I put it on YouTube so everybody can hear it. So I understand a little bit about propaganda. I've been writing blogs. I got over 2,000 blogs on my shit, and about 20 people done read this shit. And I still be writing. I got books, and I ain't sold nothing. I sold maybe about 10 of them.
Speaking of which, bro, we're gonna have to figure out how this newsletter is supposed to be because right. I think I got a little puzzle I might put in there.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, yo, we got people that's willing to do, and all I'm saying is, are we mining the gold at our feet? And or are we wanting to go out and to get, because I honestly believe that if I mine the gold at my feet, if I'm able to harness the gold at my feet, we will be able to reach everybody that you're talking about. It's just gonna take some time. And maybe you believe we don't have time. But I've been fighting this battle for a long time. Before the internet. You know what I'm saying? Hell, we used to do it. Kwame, remember when Norman was going around talking about starting little pocket radio stations and shit and telling people that, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing this shit for a long time. I just need you to know that when you come in with some of these arguments, baby, please. I hear you, but I'm like, goddamn. I mean, what do you think we're doing? I'm putting it on Facebook for the masses. I'm putting it on Facebook for the masses. I'm only on Facebook. I'm not minimizing what we do. Listen, I'm just saying. I got enough listeners. I got enough listeners now. I got enough listeners right now to take this shit off of Facebook and say, yo, I'm just gonna send y'all a link to Spreaker and we could just do a podcast. We could do some shit between us. Hell, I'll send you a link to a hangout in so YouTube.
How do we reach those who are...
When the last time you shared one of my shows?
I'm sorry?
When the last time you shared one of my shows? Because me and you... When
the last time I what?
When the last time you shared one of these shows, one of these discussions?
I've shared it while we've been on the phone. I don't share it on my social media because
who you sharing it with if you ain't sharing it with social media? You want to reach the masses, but yet you ain't using what the fuck we doing to reach the masses.
Yeah, and you know why I don't. Okay, so
Lady J.
Other way she's using it. She may not use this format, but she may be using it in another format.
But the whole,
I'm not going to be.
I send the number to people and I invite them to listen. And so, and I just sent it to my father and told him that I will make sure that on Thursday I get him, to call in, make sure that he's ready to call in and listen as well. But there's reasons I don't share it on my social media.
But now,
on my Facebook.
So now, hold on.
And that should be self-explanatory.
No, it shouldn't be.
I don't need my white coworkers listening to the things that I say so that they can go report me for my thoughts and my intellectual property.
Hold on. I'm working in a similar environment. But, some differences because, like I said, we got people that went through the process, right? But hold on, my process ain't shit. But hold on. You don't have a private, like a group of people that you can send it to, that you can share it to. See, because we're talking about building the movement, you're talking about taking it to the masses. What's going to happen when you take it to the masses? And I'm not understanding. How are you?
Okay, so
how are you talking about propaganda, but yet you're not sending it out to the masses?
I've shared with you.
I'm drinking that Ambrosia, family.
I have my own blog talk show for
so you don't
a while.
You don't have a Facebook page for that?
Called 2 Hours to Empower. And the
you don't got a Facebook page on for that?
The reason why I have not picked that back up is because of the issues that it caused when people listen and weren't listening. and were hearing what they wanted to hear. I'm not about to, I do have to feed my children. I'm not about to lose my job or be up under investigation.
You could do a page.
For again, my intellectual property. But the minute I'm able to be anonymous, which is why I've always had an anonymous name on this show, unfortunately, my voice is very distinct.
Yes,
every time I'm on the radio, every time I'm on any type of public platform, people call me because they know my voice. But the things that I want to say and the things I want to get off my heart, I want to be in a position where I can say them and not have to worry about consequence or someone reporting me or anything like that, right?
Well, Lady Jane,
so that's why I share with a select. I share with the select. Now, if there were a way for me to be anonymous,
wait, time out. I asked you, have you shared it? You got certain people
and I
that
said,
wait.
Yes, I've had people call on this line and talk.
You don't. The calling line is not. The calling line is not the way to share it. You can share it through Facebook. You can go to your private message. You go to your private message, and you can go on and share it with your friends. How many times you done that?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Okay. I'm about 3,000 shows deep. Shit, I'm just saying.
Nevertheless, at the end of the day, I think that everyone here, in my opinion, is saying the same thing, really. I think we all agree on the same thing, but we just may be saying it differently. At the end of the day, it's all the same thing. We do need to reach more people, and we do need to reach the people that are within our circle, and we do need to have acknowledgement and be proud of what we do have already established. They all coexist. That mindset, that all coexist.
Somebody asked me what I'm drinking. What I'm drinking is that ambrosia. It's a drink that I make. It's a health drink. But I just wanted to share that. We also make a salad dressing from it. The chef is in the house. Go on, Sister Navita. Go on, give yourself some props. We're going to give her a round of applause because she done figured out how to make this into a salad dressing. She done figured out how to make it.
Have the kombucha
infused. It's good for the gut.
Salad dressing.
You know what I'm saying? And Lady J, I don't want you, because I love your energy. I'm just like, sometimes, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I want people to judge me on my intentions and not always my actions. I mean very well, and I'm so sorry if I offended you. I pay much respect to you. Much respect to you. You are not only my elder. You are my mentor.
I am not an elder, baby. I am not an elder.
I often speak highly of you with people with regards to my mindset and my mentality, right? And again, a lot of these things, I construct new knowledge. So you teach me every day. Every time I come on this call, well. Even when we are going back and forth debating and sharing our thoughts, I am growing every day, and I have you to thank for that. I thank you for giving me a platform to speak my mind, because like I said, had I not had issues with having my own, when I had my own platform with people coming on and reporting me and this, that, and the other, saying I was a racist, this, that, and so forth, I would still be doing what I was doing years ago. You provide me a platform, and I thank you for that, sir. But again, I will continue doing what I do. I will continue doing what I do, and I pray that again you will forgive me if I offended you with my comments, because that was not my intention.
You don't offend me.
When I think about the movement and I think about what it's going to take to bring this system down, I believe, like the Queen Levita said, we got to hit this monster from all sides. We got to throw our firepower. We got to we got to jump on them, hit them. We got to use our bamboo. Whatever the hell we got, we need to come at it full force. And to be arguing about, I hear people saying, oh, what y'all going to do, another protest? Oh, what y'all going to do? Voting don't matter. Your vote don't count. We will discourage each other from doing anything and end up doing nothing at all. And that's a problem. That is a problem.
Agree.
So we just need to do, we need to attack this monster from all sides, with every weapon, with everything that we got. And the more of us that there is, the more likely we are to bring down the system. So if we got one banner and everybody got to march up under another banner, that's fine with me. That's fine with me, as long as we have a common enemy.
All right.
And I apologize.
No problem. Listen.
We recognize who the enemy, the common enemy is.
And this is called wisdom mining. So my frustration, my stress, and maybe other people's stress with you or me, or even Sister Navita, the stress is called wisdom mining. This is why we do it. We don't have to agree. And that's the piece that I'm trying to get. We don't have to agree. My goal is, I now, after discussing with you, I got to sit down and think about some shit. I got to realign some shit. After talking with Navita, I got to realign some shit. I got to think, right, after the show. This is what the show is about. But somebody asked a question. Sister Cynthia said, how long is the ambrosia for, speaking of which? This ambrosia is the same batch that you got, except this one has not been refrigerated at all, right? So it's going towards a vinegar type taste, right? Now, vinegar comes after the alcohol piece. There's a small amount of alcohol produced in this. Now, it's good for what it does, and I need to be very clear with people. I need y'all to listen to this. There's this thing in us called the microbiome. A majority of it is in the gut, but they find in the microbiome, in the lungs, they find it all over. And the microbiome is a major part of us. And when the microbiome is out of balance, what happens is that a lot of the autoimmune diseases start popping up. So when I started learning how to brew that ambrosia, it was because I wanted to learn how to deal with the microbiome and to start helping people fight off some of these autoimmune diseases. Now, I'm not going to go through the autoimmune diseases. You're going to find them yourself. But when you start taking probiotics, which now you go to the doctor and they prescribe them to you. You go to gyms and they prescribe them to you to help you with weight loss. And they started, I had somebody tell me that somebody was trying to charge them $250 for some goddamn probiotics when I could teach you how to make this shit at home by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I met somebody that was charging just about that much.
For some probiotics, and I could teach you how to brew it yourself, or I could sell you a bottle for $3.50, or I could sell you a gallon for I ain't gonna say the price right now. How much I'm selling a gallon for? I'm selling a gallon for $30.
$25.
See, Navita on that business, right? You know what I'm saying? But the piece that I'm saying is that I can not only teach you how to brew it. If you don't have time to brew it, we could brew it for you, right? And the piece is, it's full of probiotics, and those probiotics help bring your body into balance, right? And by bringing your body into balance, from the microbiome, the immune system works. As a matter of fact, what a lot of people don't know, you have more bacteria and yeast in your body than you have human cells. So really, when it comes down to it, you basically are bacteria. And I know that don't make some of y'all feel good, but hey, it is what it is. Damn. God damn. We've been talking so long, y'all done broke my little thing on the back of my phone. So family, listen. I'm going to have to say peace to y'all. Y'all done broke my phone.
Can I say goodbye to the people, please?
I don't care if you say goodbye to the people. My phone broke. This is
say
racism.
It one more time.
My phone broke. Say goodbye. This is racism. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, I'm out though too. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Peace.
Well, hold on the video before you go. Say something to the people, baby. You can't just pop up and leave like that. We don't do that on Gye-Nyame Journey. We got people listening. We got people watching. You are the chef. You are the maker of the dressing of Gye-Nyame Journey. You are one of the reasons that we are able to be successful. So if you would, please, say something to the people before you get your ass up off of this phone.
All right. Well, I'm just going to say peace, power, and joy in 100 years.
You stole my shit.
And each one teach three. Ashe. Peace.
All right, Lady J, it's on you. So what you going to do?
I just want to say that I'm going to be rocking my 5 black tea, my 5 black tea tomorrow. And I just hope that people who don't look like me will ask me to elaborate on what that means.
Racist.
I want to remind everyone.
Racist.
I'm sorry?
That's what they're going to be like, you racist. How dare you?
Yeah, they'll be like, I'm racist. And I'm like, no, I'm not saying, I'm saying I need to buy black and you need to buy black too. I'm not being racist. I'm just saying
but you're going to have to, you're going to deal with that. You're going to deal with that.
The same way we support your businesses and all that stuff is the same way that you should go and support ours.
I can do that.
Yeah, so, I just want to remind everyone we're in the midst of the Great Awakening. Today, do something in support of the movement. Every day, do something in support of the movement. Educate yourself, read a book, article. Uncle Tom's Cabin is my favorite, so if you get a chance, read that book, and then, of course, watch the movie. Donate to a cause. Volunteer your time, indoor services, especially at a school. Go in. They're looking to build community partners all over whatever city you're in. They're looking to build community partners. So go in and volunteer your time. And if you can't get into a school, go into a rec center. They're looking for programming. I promise you. Use your social media networks to enlighten and inform. That is our platform. That is what propaganda we have. We may not be able to control the mass media, but we can damn sure control what's on our Facebook and our Instagram and our Snapchat. Promote those positive images. Let's begin to bombard our people with positive images of ourselves and our past. Always participate politically. Sign a petition, march, plan a peaceful protest, participate in a boycott. Always remember, if we want change, we have to learn how to keep more change in our pockets. Let's all have a productive day today, tomorrow, and every day that follows.
All right. So, Sister Cynthia, I got to ask her a question. She said, meaning, how long does it last? How long can I keep it in the fridge so it don't go bad? Now, the beautiful thing about raw honey is that raw honey does not go bad. You have the bacteria and yeast eating the glucose or eating the sugar within the honey, right? So if it goes, where it will go is it will turn to vinegar. And you better use that as like a salad dressing. It'd be like apple cider vinegar. You could take shots of it so it don't go bad. All right, so go and drink up, enjoy yourself, right? As long as you could take it, you could drink it. You know what I'm saying? And then when you can't drink it no more, eat it on your salad. Eat it as how you would use the apple cider vinegar. All right. So I mean, this is a product that we make, that we can make in the community. Cause I ain't gonna say I got enough for everybody in the community, but I got enough for my circle. And Sister Cynthia, you in my circle, if you want to learn how to make it, we're gonna do it. Matter of fact, we're going to set up a workshop soon where people can learn and come and learn how to make that, I ain't going to say that ambrosia, how you can make your June, how you can make kombucha. Because Shaka want to come and show you his method. I'm going to show you how I do my method. You have a difference. I'm a fermenter, and then Shaka, he's a brewer. So we got fermenters and we got brewers, right? There's a subtle difference, but there's a difference nonetheless. And we all can learn from each other, and we can all create something healthy out of the kitchen that we all can take to better benefit us. So I want to thank everybody for joining us for Gye-Nyame Journey tonight. And I'm going to say, welcome to the congregation of Mighty. You have been listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Come on, anime. She fell asleep. This is a Heart of December production. I want to thank you for joining us for the Folktales for Grown Folks. December Tripper 2, where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. And with that, I say good night.